Today's talk is about where are the instrumentals that cause a major rarity in the Flibbergibbit. Those things are going to be announced by the next University of Mary Had a Little Lammy. And there's going to be never-ending blessings from the Jerry Maguire file. And there's never going to be too many ostentatious expenditures on frivolous things. Although if you signed up before June the 10th of last summer, you might get in under the early buyout clause, but only if you're over age 16. If you're 13 and under, you could claim ownership of the world because you're the next generation and you're looking at everyone else and they've got dementia. That's probably the best idea. I'm trying to move the camera so that it doesn't put a shadow on my face. Now, if you're not, under 13 or over 16, then you're kind of like in the middle teen area. And those ones are the ones you have to watch out for because they ride bicycles and they can get into all kinds of trails and back lanes and they can spy on everyone. And they know if you've got carrots in your backyard because they're going to pick them and sample them. Sometimes these ones are the ones who know more than anyone else on the planet because they've just figured it out for the first time. And quite often they get bowled over by teachers and parents telling them things and newspapers. And when they talk amongst each other, they get to the real nitty-gritty of what's important in life. And that's getting on your bike and going for an all-day bike ride to the far side of your town or city where there's a park and a lake where you can go for a swim. And if you got a few dollars, you could get a nice cream cone. In the olden days, when I was this age, it was absolutely amazing. I could pedal one side of town to the other, and we didn't bring water. So I don't know how many miles it was, but it might be an all-afternoon affair. And I didn't need water. I don't know how it was. Did I get water on the far side? I might have got like 7-Up or something in a paper cup from someplace, but not very much, for all that long hours of pedaling in the hot sun. So, today I go for a walk and I bring some bottled water and I need it, but I don't know, my requirements for water is more than my flibbergibbiting around these days. Flibbergibbiting is a word Rumpelstiltskin invented, or he heard it and repeated it, and it means it's not tomfoolery. Flibbergibbiting is if you have a coffee cup in your hand and then you pour some coffee in with the carafe and I don't know, something happens and you end up shaking your hand or the carafe and you make a big spill. It's like bobbling. Do you bobble a baseball? It's like when the baseball comes and you've got it sort of in your mitt, but you don't have it clamped into your mitt. And it's kind of bouncing and it bounced out of your mitt and you reached out with your other hand and you went to grab the ball and you got it in your hand, but then it kind of didn't really grasp and then it might have kept bouncing a little bit more. You might bobble a ball in football and during a fumble. That's a major flibbergibbit. The first person who was called on the fumble, that is the person who flibbergibbited first. But sometimes with tipping and when the ball goes and someone jumps up high and they manage to just get their tips of their fingers on the football as it's flying through the air, and they tip it and they deflect it. That person doesn't really flibbergibbit it. It's not a flibbergibbit, no. Not even the quarterback who threw it, because he threw it and it almost made it through. It's a bobbling, it's kind of a fumbling. That's what a flibbergibbet is. And someone who's like flibbergibbeting around is not necessarily bobbling the ball. It's usually like they should have already been in the car and ready to go, but they're still trying to decide if they want a red toque or a black hat, or and whether to bring, an extra sweater. And Rumpel would say, "Stop flibbergibbeting around. We have to leave right now." That's your update on Oddball Words. I'm Jerry McGuire.